the making of the book. People always ask us how we first met. This took place in Kenya in 1978, and I'd like Angela to tell the story.
Well, Carol was finishing her first book, Masai, and her father came all the way from Africa, from America, to give her a birthday present. And being very creative, he decided to give her a balloon flight so she could fly across Masai land and include the aerial shots in her book. A miraculous thing happened. The balloon pilot turned out to be my brother Simon. And Carol and Simon were both very attractive, young and dynamic. And at 1,000 feet high in the air, Simon looked very closely into Carol's eyes and said, "You know, there's something I'd really love to tell you."
My heart was beating wildly.
And then continuing to look very closely in her eye, he said, "I'd love you to meet my sister."
My heart sank.
Simon had recognized the strong kindred spirit quality between us. We were both lone travelers, young 20-year-olds, and passionate about recording the African cultures. And we were lone travelers. So he thought if we could meet each other, maybe it could be safer. And at the end of the balloon ride, he wrote me a very poignant letter about Carol, which said, "Carol is quite fantastic. All I ask of you as your brother is where you meet Carol and how the meeting went."
Angela and I finally met in Nairobi 1 year later. We were totally disappointed. We met at African Heritage Gallery in 1978 at the opening of Alan's exhibition, dressed as we are tonight and not looking like Amazonian bushwomen with khakis and boots. However, Simon was so persuasive that we decided to give it a chance. We met the next day, decided we were absolutely kindred spirits with a shared passion for the traditional cultures of Africa, and within a week we were photographing side by side at a warrior ceremony, a Maasai ceremony on the border of Tanzania. During that first week, we shared a dream. We envisioned that one day we would create a comprehensive visual record of the most powerful ceremonies that move African people through life, from birth to death. We were aware that these ceremonies were disappearing. We felt an urgency to record them before it was too late. Today, over 40% of what we've recorded no longer exists, except in the pages of our books.
This map of Africa, which is a little faded for a lot of you, but very pale dots on the map, indicate that we've been working in 44 countries out of Africa's 54, recording African ceremonies. And we've now completed our work with over 150 cultures in Africa. For African Twilight, we've had to really go further and deeper into Africa than ever before. It's really difficult now to find ceremonies really intact in Africa, and to do this, we travel by different means. In the top left-hand corner, you can see us traveling by dugout canoe across the Nile swampland in Sudan. And on the top right-hand corner, we're traveling across a very deep sandy desert in Djibouti with a four-wheel drive that sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. The center photograph shows a journey that Carol and I did trying to reach the Soma in a remote corner of southwest Ethiopia. We took a mule train of 15 animals over 10,000-foot mountains for a stay of 5 weeks. what was extraordinary was when we arrived in the southwest corner, is a Soma woman with a large lip plate leapt out of her village and came and kissed both of our hands. And we were so touched by her. And then we realized we were the first Europeans that she'd ever seen.
On the lower right, we're traveling on camelback with the Wadabe nomads in Niger in search of the annual Farawal ceremony, which is a magnificent pageant of male beauty where women pick their husbands. Now we were traveling with Chief Macau, living on a calabash of milk a day, and every time we grow impatient, Macau would say, "Oh, it's just up over the next sand dune." And 4 weeks later, we were looking at Macau, at which point he wagged his finger at us and with nomad practical wisdom said, "She who cannot bear the smoke will never get to the fire." And in this way, we mastered the art of patience and perseverance.
On each of our travels, we keep detailed and illustrated diaries. We usually write these at night, and we record all the photographs that we've taken during the day, and also interesting events that have happened to us. We now have over 200 of these diaries that go over the last 400 years. Sorry, 40 years. We are getting older. And we think they make up an important part of our archive because they give a lot of details behind the scenes.
Now, for the work we do, we have to be ready on a moment's notice to leave home in order to record ceremonies. While we were in Madagascar photographing funeral rites, we got a telephone call in the middle of the night from Tanzania, from Kira Godal, who is with us tonight, saying that in 48 hours, the Saleh Maasai were holding their once every 14-year passage into elderhood. This was starting in 48 hours, and it only occurs once every 14 years. Angela and I can never say no to a call like this. We left Madagascar in the middle of the night, flew to South Africa, to Kenya, and drove 17 hours to get to the ceremonial site, crossing the border in the dark of the night because we didn't have visas.
We never imagined we would be so truly rewarded. As we climbed over the hill, we had this magnificent sight of a snake line of over 900 Maasai warriors. They were all wearing red traditional shukas, and they had iron thigh bells attached to their thighs that jangled as they moved. You can see here that they're headed for what they call the Maasai Nanyata, which is a ceremonial grounds. The huts have been built by their mothers, and they'll perform here 5 to 7 days of ritual.
A sea of red flags stretched as far as the eye could see into the horizon. For the Maasai, red symbolizes blood, life force, and the hot, fiery temperament of the Maasai warriors. The warriors gathered waving their red flags in the center of the Manyata. The flags symbolized the unity of their generation. The elders expressed their fear that this ceremony might not happen again, and that it was very urgent that we make this record for them. At the peak of the ceremony, the warriors get so emotional and so excited that they fall into an altered state called emboshona. Their bodies go rigid, they foam at the mouth, and their mothers have to grab onto them and wrestle them down to the ground. The mother said to us, "If you place the young girlfriend of a warrior on his lap, he'll calm down immediately."
The Saleh Maasai are more traditional in many ways than other Maasai, as they live in a very remote corner, and they're the only Maasai that really wear this beautiful white jewelry. The Eonoto ceremony is a very poignant moment for a warrior, because it's this moment, he's going to lose all of his white jewelry for life, which has symbolized his warrior beauty. And then at the end of the ceremony, his mother is going to shave off his long warrior locks in order for him to be able to pass into elderhood.
We'd like to show you a clip of a film made by Kira Godal of this very ceremony.